Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me here in Studio 44. I am Phil Sherman. We are here for a little something different today. Normally, we're showcasing stadiums, whether it's for the Ricky Davis League or stadiums that you created and you want showcased. But today, I wanted to talk about franchise mode because the new game is not far away. We've got plenty of stadiums for the Ricky Davis League Stadium Search. Thank you so much for all of your submissions. We will be recording a video where my brother will select his stadium submitted by you very, very soon. I believe we have 6, including one of mine. But with the new game right around the corner and talking about the Ricky Davis League Stadium Search, we get excited for the new game and the things that we hope we will see in franchise mode in the future. Now, I don't know what a lot of you guys use MLB The Show for, but the main thing for me has always been the Ricky Davis League. My brother and his best friend created the league way back in the 80s with the original Nintendo and the original baseball game that came out with that Nintendo. Those teams didn't have players. They didn't have team names. They didn't have fictional characters, nothing. It was just a team with different colored uniforms. So my brother and his friend created fake players, put them on these teams, wrote down all the stats and stuff like that, and just played the game. And as they were always nice enough to do, they included the younger brother in the mix. They helped me create a team. 30 years later, me and my brother are still using a lot of those same characters. So with MLB The Show now allowing you to relocate teams and rebranding them, creating fictional rosters and players, and now building your own stadiums, we can completely eliminate any MLB aspect of the Ricky Davis League. Before, we used to be on real teams, but with fictional players. Then we can have fictional players and fictional teams, but real stadiums. Now it's all changed. And while all of that is fantastic, nothing is perfect. So I have a few things that I think could really improve the franchise mode experience, especially for people like me. And I know there's plenty of you out there because I've seen fictional teams and I've seen fictional rosters that use MLB The Show for fictional leagues. And it all starts with create a team out of franchise mode and making it its own thing. Let's start there. Okay, so say you're starting your own league, brand new season of the Ricky Davis League, and you have to start building teams. There's no team builder mode like there is player creator or player editor. You can go into settings and create sliders, or you can go into stadium creator mode and build your own stadium and then use it in different versions of the game. So that's the first thing I would start with. I would pull the team creator or franchise rebrander, whatever you want to call it, out of franchise mode and put it in create or in settings, so you can build a team, create the team, do the logos, do the audio, all that stuff, and then be able to pull it into franchise mode or March to October or online play in an exhibition against a friend or into your Diamond Dynasty team. Right now, if I want to build the Gamblers, just the Gamblers, I have to go into franchise mode, start new. I'll just use current rosters. Pick the Yankees because that's my favorite team. Then you have to come in here. Say you've already started the Gamblers. You load them. Then you have to go back in and create to edit what you've already worked on. And there's what I have for the Gamblers so far. Great, but will they look like that in a game? Let's test. Oh, the only way to test is to start the frickin' franchise. You have to go through all this crap. Go to the calendar, play your first game. Wouldn't it be easier just to be able to go into an exhibition game?
And welcome into the ballpark. Happy to have you with us. Spring training baseball coming your way. It's Las Vegas taking on the Philadelphia Phillies.
Still waiting to see my teams. Oh, there they are. But again, will they look like that in a game?
And we'll be back with the first pitch right after this. DJ LeMahieu to start things.
Oh, there we go. Now I get to see my uniforms.
The wide to kick the pitch. And that is cut on and missed.
Okay, great. And then if you want to see...
Bottom
you
of
can
the
fast
first.
forward, take a look
And
at him
stepping
on
in is the speedy
defensive side of the
Bryson
ball.
Stott. And ball one. Chris, you look at Garrett Cole, and he changed in terms of his profile.
And they decide, okay, they're good. But then you have to save and exit, and you created a whole new save file in your game that you have to go through and find and delete later because they changed the way they did that a couple years ago, which is, by the way, terrible. But yeah, pull franchise creator or team creator out of franchise mode so it can do its own thing and so you can use it for other stuff. I would love to use my custom teams in an exhibition game. And then give us a vault where we can save these teams so we don't have to recreate them every year. Again, it's fantastic that you can rebrand, but help it make it easier for us by letting us save these and put them in a vault for the next version of the game. Now, staying on the topic of going to the next version of the game. A couple years ago, I can't remember which versions of the game it was, but you had the option to save a roster, upload it to a vault, and you could grab that roster from a previous version of the game. Bring that back, please. I don't think enough adjustments have been done to players to justify not being able to transfer those rosters to the next version of the game. Now, I don't use Diamond Dynasty, so I understand that you want players to have to earn new cards and earn new packs and all that stuff. I get it. But why can't you give us at least our fictional players? You know? We spend so much time to build our players and recreate them that it takes a good couple of weeks before we could start a franchise. And I know a lot of people don't use this game for that, but it seems like a simple enough thing where you could satisfy a lot of people who do. If you can't do the rosters, at least let us upload our fictional players. That would make things easier too. Let us create a player, edit them, put them into the player vault so we can bring them into the next version of the game. Okay, say for whatever reason you can't do that. Another thing that would help us out, people who use fictional rosters and fictional players and all that stuff, how about you give us fictional rosters? How about you give us a fictional roster or two that we can download from the get-go and use? Like I said earlier, if you fast forward enough seasons and get to the year 2050, 2060, all the current Major League players are retired and the game generates its own fictional players. Why not do that from the get-go? Generate a couple fictional rosters that we can download and then plant our own players into those rosters. That would be fantastic too. I would love to be able to do that. Okay, now getting back into the franchise creator or team creator itself. I think it's time for an upgrade for this tool, don't you think? It's getting stale. There's only a certain amount of fonts you can use for your names and your numbers. I think it's time to upgrade this a little bit. I know this is a popular tool for Diamond Dynasty mode. People create their own teams and they use them in that mode, so I think it's time to give us some new options. There's 10 fonts, that's it. And of those 10 fonts, maybe 2 or 3 of them are usable. Some of them look so terrible or you can't see them from far away in the game itself. Like, look how small that one is. And then when it comes to the numbers, again, the same thing. Look how tiny that shows up on the back. And then you got the skinny numbers or the sci-fi look or space-looking numbers. It's time for some new fonts. There's a gajillion different fonts out there. Give us some new options. And fonts aren't the only thing. Now, when it comes to inserting different templates, obviously the basic shapes can't really change anything there, but when it comes to this guy, these templates, I think it's time for something new here, too. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the stuff that's been here since day one. The same lightning bolt, the same tornadoes, the same everything. Give us some new options. Same animals. And then going back to different fonts. Over here, you have the same basic fonts as on the uniforms. Give us some more options. It's time for a change. Moving on to the next thing in team or franchise creator. We need a third jersey. I mean, come on. What major league team besides the Yankees has only 2 uniforms, a home and away? Practically none. Every team has some kind of alternate jersey. If I'm not mistaken, franchises are allowed to have 4 now. Give us 4. Give us an alternate home. Give us an alternate away. But I have something that would be even better than that. And give us the ability to change our team mid-franchise. You can go in and you can edit your player. Oh, I don't like these batting gloves on Steve Stewart anymore. I'm going to change them. You know? Shit, he's not hitting a home run. You can increase his power. Not that we do that kind of thing, but still, it's an option because you can edit this guy mid-franchise. But if you don't like the uniform that you created, you're stuck with it. No matter what happens, you're stuck with it unless you restart the entire franchise. Now, if you could give us the ability to change or upgrade our logos and uniforms mid-franchise mode, you wouldn't need to give us a 3rd or 4th alternate jersey because we'd have unlimited jerseys. Between games, we could go into Team Editor, create a new uniform, and use it in the next game. But unless there's some tab I'm missing, you cannot change anything about your uniforms mid-franchise mode. Give us that option in future games, please. Now, I don't have much more to say about franchise mode other than the big ask that almost everybody wants, and that is give us an online franchise mode. Now, I get when it comes to Diamond Dynasty or, those other competitive tournaments and stuff like that, you got to keep things on an even playing level. So you don't want to be able to customize too much once a league or a season or whatever, you guys play online starts. But when it comes to a franchise mode, you don't always just want to play strangers. The league that my brother and I create, the way we have to do it right now is we have to play the game, upload the game, and then my brother can upload it on my account, which he has to have plugged into his PlayStation, download it, play it, re-upload it, and go back and forth and so on. That eliminates the ability for us to play each other online. So when it comes time where my brother and I have to play each other, I have to go to his house or he has to come to my house, and we have to use the same behind the batter view when we're hitting and pitching, and we hate it. We want it set up just like any other online mode where we can play against each other online in the same franchise. At the same time, we want to be able to edit our players, edit our rosters, edit our uniforms and teams, all that stuff mid-franchise. We know each other. We know what we're doing. We know that we don't cheat. We know that we don't take advantage of stuff. So when it comes to online play, we want to be able to customize things as we roll, because sometimes we change our mind about a player's stance, or we change their mind about them wearing 2 batting gloves, or we change their mind about them wearing sunglasses. We want to be able to update that stuff mid-franchise like we can right now. Now, in the old online leagues, you couldn't do that. You couldn't change stuff mid-season. But now, you can't even play an online league where you can use fictional rosters and fictional teams and all that stuff. So please, bring that back to us. And I don't get much into the scouting. The trading, I mean, that could always get cleaned up. The ability to trade more players at a time. Sure, it'd be nice to make 3-way team trades and stuff like that, but I never cared much about worrying about my money and attendance and budget and stuff like that. I just want to be able to play from game 1 through game 162 and focus on the gameplay and our players and our rosters and our uniforms. But like I said, when it comes to using a franchise mode for fictional teams and players and rosters, that's all we really need. That's all that really needs to be changed, because it's almost perfect, at least in my eyes. Sure, you can always make tweaks to gameplay. Easier to hit, harder to hit, easier to pitch, harder to pitch, stolen bases, all that stuff. But yeah, those are the main things I want. Now, if there's something you want from me, like you want to give me a stadium to showcase in Stadium Creator mode, please leave a comment below with the name of the stadium you want showcased along with your gamer tag. I'm noticing that the vault's getting a little bit better. I'm starting to be able to search by user again, so that's a good thing. Let me know ASAP if you have a team that you want to... Let me know ASAP if you have a stadium that you want to submit for the RDL Stadium search, because not only are we getting ready to select Mark Stadium, but we're also getting ready to make our final choices for each team so that we can start the new franchise and have it wrapped up by the time the new game comes out in March or April. Please let me know what you want out of franchise mode, if you even use franchise mode. I know there's certain players out there who just hop on and make stadiums all day, which is fun in its own. But yeah, let me know what you guys like to do with franchise mode. Let me know if you agree with some of my asks, and let me know what you want changed. More importantly, let's let SDS know so they can work on that for future versions of the game. If you like this video, or if you like my Stadium Creator videos, please give me a like, please subscribe to the channel, please comment and let me know. And please ring the bell so you get notifications on when new videos come out. It's very important to get all that stuff. I hate begging for it, but I'm pretty close to 200 viewers. I'm very happy about that, by the way. Thank you so much for subscribing, those of you who have. And we shall see you very soon in a new video.